Hello everybody, Ragtag Zagby here. Welcome to the next episode. In the last episode we were making our way to the lab, and in this episode I want to quickly go back because I believe if I wear this and look around, there is something you can spot while you are here. Besides all the traps and animals. Was that it? I think you might have saw like a big red thing going up into the trees. That is something you could spot because there is actually somebody here. And you can spot them whenever you're entering or leaving, whenever you're entering the area. Primarily if you're focused on the backgrounds. And I want to try and get a good view of it. Oh no, that's just a squirrel. Yeah, because presumably, from what I understand, you can actually spot one of the game's bosses in this area. If you are being proactive and actively looking around. Yes, so supposedly we can see the next boss if we look around here. Which I've not had any luck. I'll definitely double check, but I'm pretty sure I read up somewhere that you can actually spot the Did that actually respawn? Oh my god, those noodles have respawned. But yeah, supposedly you can spot the next boss before the boss fight even happens. I'm surprised these noodles respawned. Dope.
Snake, have you been caught in a snare trap?
Yeah,
If you don't get down from there soon, the enemy might spot you.
I know that.
Then why don't you get yourself down?
How am I supposed to do that?
It should be obvious. If you get caught in a snare trap, press the action button. That will allow you to cut the rope. Hurry and free yourself before the enemy comes around.
Didn't mean to get caught in a snare, but... Yeah, so let's progress. We are here in the lab now.
Sokolov is inside the lab. Look for a way in and use it to infiltrate the lab.
So you've got your uniform and your face paint, but that alone isn't enough to make for good camouflage. Camouflage...
Actually, can we call Ada yet? I forgot when you can actually start calling her. Still no response. We got a dog here. You get rid of the dog, so that's out of the way. I remember that dog exists. I believe if we come all the way here, yeah, there should be a gap in this fence. Apparently the scientists have been using it to escape. Now there's a few ways you can enter the facility. get rid of you. So there's a few ways you can enter. One is admittedly pretty funny. There we go. I know there's a way you can peek. I just don't know why Snake is not peeking. Is it that I have to have no gun equipped in order to peek? No. Great, I need to have to remember how to peek, because I know there's a way you can peek around corners. So, one of the ways you can get in is by knocking on this door.
Okay, just a second.
Yeah, if you knock on the door a bunch of times, he'll just kick the door open.
There's nobody here. Am I hearing things?
Alright, let's prepare a nice surprise for him. Do 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 do. Let's put the sniper rifle away. Do. Get a claymore.
Okay, just a second.
Pretty explosive opening door. What does Sigurd have to say about the claymore?
They sicked attack dogs on you? People have been using dogs in wars since before recorded history. The Greek and Roman armies used to send out packs of dogs with spiked collars to charge at enemy ranks. Attack dogs were regularly employed in the First and Second World Wars as well. Traditionally, dogs have been used to keep watch, send messages, and assist in search operations. Then the Soviets came up with a new idea, using them to carry bombs.
Bomb dogs?
Yeah, they were trained to dive beneath tanks carrying a payload of bombs. Apparently it worked pretty well, but the Russians messed up, man. They used their own tanks for the training. Turns out the dogs kept going after Russian tanks and blowing them up, so the plan was scrapped before it got off the ground. Well, I don't think you need to worry about those dogs exploding on you. They don't seem to be the bomb-carrying type. But they are highly trained in tracking and detection. Don't underestimate them. They're excellent trackers and ferocious fighters. Attack dogs move fast and are deadly in proximity encounters. They'll pick up your scent and use it to track you, so it'll be hard to shake them off. In a way, they're more dangerous than any human opponent. Be prepared. The Soviet-made smoke grenades you might find around there also seem to act as a mild tear gas. It might not have that much of an effect on human targets wearing balaclavas, but it ought to wreak havoc to a dog's nose. If you're being chased by attack dogs, give them a taste of a smoke grenade. Ah, you got yourself some claymores. The M18A1 Claymore is a new type of anti-personnel directional mine developed in the U.S. after the Korean War. The gently curved casing is packed with 1.5 pounds of high-grade explosives. The side facing the enemy is lined with 700 steel ball bearings. So when the mine explodes, the ball bearings simultaneously burst out of the casing. Anyone in the kill zone, be he friend or foe, is instant Swiss cheese. The mine is triggered by an electric detonator. Apparently the detonator's got some kind of special motion detector built in.
Yeah. When the mine is planted, it reacts to anything that comes close and automatically explodes.
Just make sure you don't trip your own mine or something stupid like that.
I'll be careful.
You can pick up a planted claymore by crawling over it. Mines planted by the enemy can also be picked up in this way, so if you come across a minefield, it's a good idea to crawl through it and pick up the mines.
What are they doing making minefields out of Western mines anyway?
They're probably doing field performance evaluations on mines they either captured or stole from the West. The structure of the claymore isn't actually all that complicated. They must be learning a lot about them. It might not be long before we start seeing Claymoraski mines.
Okay, that is kind of cruel but funny that the Soviets tried using dogs to plant bombs, but because they used their own tanks for training, the dogs went after their own tanks and blew them up. That is kind of funny. Made it to the lab. Let's just sneak up on this guy.
Huh? Speak. To the northeast. Speak. In the armory. Speak. There's some ammo.
Speaking of, looks like we got an ammo center here. TNT. An XM. What is that gun? I'm trying to remember what that gun is. Oh, it's a... Okay. Put away the claymore and learn about this gun. Also planting bombs.
HQ. This is HQ. What's going on? Respond.
HQ. Patrol here. Enemy position unknown.
Here we go, he's good as dead. I love that the other guy did not notice at all.
Snake, you've got a...
I know. It's some new kind of rifle out of the West. Looks kind of like a black rifle.
No, it's not an AR-15. It's an XM16E1, a top-of-the-line rifle that the Army adopted recently on a trial basis. The U.S. military was working on a new concept for a light infantry weapon from the late 40s through the mid-50s. In the end, they decided they wanted a .22 caliber high muzzle velocity rifle with full auto capability. What they came up with was the AR-15, the so-called black rifle. The one you've got there, the XM16E1, is a modified AR-15 that's been fitted with a bolt forward assist. I heard they're doing performance evaluations down in Southeast Asia.
So they captured one in Vietnam and brought it here?
That's my guess. But that thing looks a lot different from a regular XM16E1. There must have been a gunsmith present at the field test who made all these modifications on the spot. The fact that it's painted in camouflage colors shows that more and more people these days are starting to realize the importance of camouflage.
They made it so it takes a suppressor, too.
Yep, that's a nice feature to have for a recon unit on a sneaking mission deep in enemy territory. You can attach and detach the suppressor by opening the weapon window and pressing the enter button. Oh, and the firing mechanism's been modified to enable 3-shot bursts.
Why the hell would they do that?
These days, a lot of new recruits aren't used to firing in full auto mode. They have no trigger control and end up emptying the whole clip at once. Maybe they were experimenting with ways to prevent that and came up with the burst mechanism as a possible solution.
Stupid idea, if you ask me.
Hey, give it a chance. It might come in handy. Open the weapon window and press the action button to switch between semi-auto, full auto, and 3-shot burst modes. Have fun with that.
I forgot this gun could take a silencer. Oh, but I have to find silencers for the gun specifically. I can't just put any silencer on it.
There's something wrong. Support unit, confirm their status.
What's wrong?
Ooh, that looks good for a grenade. fuck did that miss?
This is HQ. What's going on? Respond. What's going on out there?
Let's get some ammo underneath the trucks. Unfortunately, there's no Mew down under this truck. Look, if that's what you're hoping to find. I swear, if the Snake collection that comes on Switch actually has a reference to Mew under one of these trucks, I will be impressed. Really? Can I not open the front door? Really?
I see you've made it inside the outer wall. Sokolov is inside the lab. Look for a way in and use it to infiltrate the lab.
But you could just walk in through the door. Okay, that's apparently out the window. Well, I know a sneaky way in. There should be a duck or something. There we go. Come this way and we can get some face paint. Japanese-inspired face paint.
Snake, what's with that face paint?
It's called Oyama.
Oyama?
Yeah, it's the name of an androgynous Japanese deity.
Are you serious?
That's what I heard.
From who?
Paramedic?
Never mind. In any case, that face paint doesn't seem to work very well. Your camo index is way down. Unless you want the enemy to see you, I'd change to something else.
Oh. Okay.
Let me guess. You were just getting to like it.
It kinda grew on me.
Fine. Get yourself shot.
Treating serious wounds will require you to use additional Snake, whatever happens to you, make sure you leave a descendant, okay?
Are you saying you want to have my baby?
No. I'm saying that in the 21st century, the genes of soldiers like you are going to be in high demand.
Genes?
Uh-huh. Remember when Watson and Crick discovered the double helix structure of DNA back in 1953?
No.
You know, they won the Nobel Prize in Medicine for it the year before last. Of course, you have to feel sorry for Pauling and Franklin. They were researching the exact same thing.
Sorry, I don't follow.
Inside every living creature are little blueprints called genes. Through the union of the sperm and egg cells, these blueprints are transformed and inherited by the next generation. That's why parents and children resemble each other. The concept of genes was first proposed over 100 years ago by Mendel, but he didn't know what they were exactly. For a while, it was thought that chromosomes were composed not of deoxyribonucleic acid, but of proteins called polypeptides. Later, it was shown that deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA, was a biological macromolecule. Then 11 years ago, Watson and Crick discovered that DNA had a double helix structure.
Yeah, this is all fascinating stuff, but what exactly does it have to do with me?
The inherent characteristics of any given individual are determined by his or her genes. By duplicating a set of superior genes, a separate body with the same set of characteristics, a clone, can be created.
But genes don't control a person's fate.
That's true, but having an offspring that's genetically identical to the parent is more efficient, right? You can expect better results that way.
More efficient? You can't mass-produce human beings.
Maybe, but now that we know the true nature of genes, human cloning is that much closer to reality. Nuclear transplanting is already theoretically possible, so one day...
My genes are going to be a valuable commodity.
Exactly.
They'd never let that happen.
Just think, Even if your body dies, you survive and go on to bigger and better accomplishments. If you think about it, it's kind of an honor.
Does that kind of technology seriously appeal to you?
Well, I am a doctor. I can't condone it on moral grounds, but I'm fascinated by the possibilities. Especially when I see such an excellent specimen as yourself.
Yeah, well, thanks for the compliment, but it doesn't make me feel any better.
Don't be so glum. It's not like it's going to happen anytime soon. We'll just have to wait and see.
Alright, with that, I think we'll save. In the
wanna
next
save?
episode, we'll
on a
we'll
sec.
start exploring this laboratory. If you enjoyed this episode, do like the videos, it helps tremendously. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below in your thoughts on this episode, and share the video so more people can discover my content and help the channel grow. And I will see you all next time. Later.
Snake, have you ever seen the Guns of Navarone?
Never.
It's about a mission to blow up the huge guns on the island of Navarone during World War II. 6 men are chosen to participate in the operation, each with his own special ability. They only have until an English destroyer passes by the island to complete their mission. Facing impossible odds, the 6 men have to sneak onto the island from a cliff on the southern shore.
That doesn't sound like something I'd want to watch in my free time.
Maybe not for you, but the Major was absolutely crazy about it.
The Major?
He told me to tell you how great it was.
Tell him I'll go see it as soon as I get back to the States.
Do you want to tell him yourself?
No, let's save that for later. I'd better get back to the mission.
Yeah,